Good morning, guys. What is happening? Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon if it is for you. We are doing another episode of the podcast as we wait for the streams to start coming through and kicking off. I want to say good morning to all the beautiful, beautiful people in Better Body Academy. And yeah, we've been bloody consistent with these podcasts, haven't we? We're going to be starting this one in 2 minutes, and we're going to get a little bit deep on the mindset component today. So if you're coming into this one live, guys, you know the drill. We get down there and we say hello in the comments. We say good morning, good evening, or good afternoon in the comments, and we're going to be ripping into this in 2 minutes. Now, as always, if you end up watching this one on replay, please hashtag replay in the comments so that we know you've been here. And we can continue to serve up the value. So hello to everyone on YouTube, on TikTok. Are we on TikTok? No. On Facebook, and all across our Better Body Academy groups. What is happening, guys? Good morning. I hope you're having a beautiful start to the day. We're going to kick this off in just 2 minutes. I'm going to turn these bloody notifications off, and we're going to rip in. Now, this podcast is going to be a really, I think, beneficial one because we're going to be talking about people's story. And I think this is the number one thing that buggers people up. Hello, Tez. How are you, legend? I hope you're good, mate. So, guys, we're going to click down into 1 minute to start time. And hello, Jade. Good morning. Jade, I've got to say, mate, I'm loving how involved you are at the moment in the group, Jade. It's super, super duper visible. So, bloody well done. How's the week going, mate? Are you making a start? Are you feeling in a better spot? Guys, we're going to be starting this one in 1 minute and we're ready to rock and roll. Obviously, we're a little bit earlier than we normally are at doing a podcast, but we're pumping it out. What are you doing, Tez? Are you running, mate? Hope you're having a good morning, brother. All right, guys. Hello, JJ. Lovely to have your company here. Hopefully you got some work out of the protein podcast, buddy. All right, I think we are ready to rock and roll. Hey, Jules, how's it going? Hey, Kayla, good morning. Hey, you know what? This is going to be a really good episode, I think, for a couple of you ladies that just joined as well. All right, I think we are ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is bring in our Instagram crew. We ready? Now, if you've got any questions during the course of the podcast, guys, please pop them into the comments. And of course, I'll answer any and every question. By the way, guys, if you are in Better Body Academy, our men's group in 30 minutes from now, we have our coaching call starting. So if you're in Better Body Academy, 30 minutes from now, we've got our coaching call, our men's UK coaching call. Let's get stuck into this on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you are sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the beautiful wide world. Summer approaching in the Western Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere, I don't know, Australia. You guys are lucky. You guys have got summer coming. Right now, it's beautiful here in Vancouver, but still the sun's hanging around, so it's nice. Guys, we're going to be talking today about how your self-talk is fucking you up. Good morning, Pete. How your self-talk is fucking you up. Okay? Now, I want to ask you straight up. Do you think that this is an issue for you? If so, I want you to let me know in the comments. Let's get involved in the podcast. Don't just idly watch, right? If you get the concept of this podcast, which is pretty simple, it is that you have to change your self-talk because this is where the shit starts, right? If we get this simple topic and we can start to work on it slowly but imperfectly, your life will change. And I know this because I used to have extremely shitty self-talk. The conversations that went through my head were, you're not good enough. You'll never be good enough. You're never going to live up to your standards that you set yourself. How are you ever going to free yourself from the day-to-day? You don't look good enough. You're not working hard enough. And even now, I still have those thoughts come up every now and then. And I'm no different to any of you guys. So I'm not coming from a perspective of, hey, I know how to do everything and you guys don't. That's not it at all. I'm simply reflecting back the things that I struggle with and how I move through these things. Self-talk. I want you to think about the narratives that you have running through your head right now. Think about maybe how you started the day. What is, like, a lot of you guys are waking up right now, right? Maybe this is the first piece of information you're hearing through the day. What has your self-talk been like so far this morning? Fuck, I hate getting up. Fuck, this sucks. My life sucks. I'll always be overweight. I'm too old to get fit. What things have you been saying to yourself? It's not that you want to say those things to yourself. Essentially, what's happening is they're coming from a program that's operating in the back of your subconscious mind. You don't even know it. But when you start to actually reflect and you think, what have I actually been saying to myself? And what would happen if I caught my child, as an example, or my partner saying that to themselves? Isn't it weird that we treat ourselves with a different set of standards than we would let our kids talk to ourselves or our partner talk to ourselves? Don't you think that's funny? We've got to start by rewriting our identity. If you wake up and the first thing that you feel when it comes to your fitness is, I'm just a person that struggles with my fitness, you have to change that story immediately. You have to decide that I'm going to change that story now to someone that says, I'm the type of person that is becoming healthy and strong. You need to be able to repeat this message even when you don't believe it. Because what happens is over time, you start to rewrite the program over and over and over again through repetition. How did you learn to do the things that you're an expert at? Through repetition. How have you learned to tell yourself these shitty stories every morning? Through repetition. So if you've gone from someone that struggles with self-talk, the way to break this is to start saying, I'm a healthy person. I'm a strong woman. I'm a strong man. And repeating this over and over and over and over again. You see, I don't think many people realize the power of their words. They say things like, oh, I can't have that. I'll never have that body. I'll never have that job. I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. And so they wonder why they struggle to execute. It's got nothing to do with you understanding calories. That's not the issue. It's higher than that. If you don't have any belief that you can achieve what you're setting out to do, what are the chances of you following through? Fucking zero. Zero. I wouldn't do anything that I didn't think that I could actually do. Why would I do that? Then that'd be just a waste of time. So you have to condition your mind through repetition. Every time the story comes up, I can't do this, you say, caught you. That's not actually you. That's just an identity that's created somewhere, and you have to catch it. Your job is when you catch yourself saying it, you go, caught it. The moment you caught it, you become present. So then what do we start to do? We start to build belief on small wins. Tiny, small wins. I think it's crazy that it's not a big win until you lost 10 kilos on scales or until you dropped 3 dress sizes. But what about the fact that you just squatted 5 pounds more than you did last month? Or that you've just hit a PB in your bench press? What about the fact that you haven't lost weight on the scales, but you've noticed that you're actually really starting to shift your mindset? Maybe you're enjoying your actual journey. For the first time, you're focusing on getting up on time and you're actually executing. This is where you build small victories into huge self-belief. This is where you go from someone who is a victim, always feeling like the world's out to get them and never feeling in control of their circumstances. And then you make a shift to all of a sudden, I did 5,000 steps today. And that's a win. I was listening to a podcast episode the other day, and a woman was reflecting around her progress so far in a program. And she said she'd basically done a reverse diet and started increasing her calories by she'd gone from 1,200 calories up to 2,200 calories. And the interviewer said to her, how do you feel? Is anything changed? And she said, no, not really. Not really. I don't feel any different, as in dismissing it. She's added 1,000 calories back into her diet without putting on weight. But because she didn't see a difference in the scales, she didn't acknowledge it. She's got stronger. Her metabolism has surged a baseline of 1,000 calories extra. But she's not acknowledging it. What are you not acknowledging because you're so focused on the weight on the scales? You might be putting on muscle. You might be getting exactly what you're trying to do, but because you're so fixated with the scales, your level of muscle and hydration is going up, but your body fat's coming down, and the two are canceling each other out. So you're looking completely different, but you're not acknowledging that. You're feeling completely different, but you're not acknowledging that, and you're just not seeing the number that you want to see on the scales. This is when you're stuck in a victim mindset. When setbacks happen in your journey, you start to say to yourself, oh, I knew this was going to happen, don't you? Oh, I knew this was going to happen. I always am good at the start, but I can never keep it up. Who says that to themselves? I'm always really good at the start, but I can never keep it up. From where I come from, if you're trying to change something and transform something, you expect to hit hurdles, right? No one goes into their marriage thinking it's going to be peaceful the whole way through. No one expects their friendships to not have any down times or bad times, right? So why in our fitness journey do we set the expectation that we're going to be perfect, and the moment it's not perfect, we fucking crucify ourselves? Why do we do that? Setbacks are part of the growth. If you're going to become the hero in your journey, if you're going to become the mum and dad that stands up in front of their kids and can guide them as the role model that they deserve, if you're going to be the person that can take their shirt off at the pool or get into a bikini for the first time in 20 years, if you're going to be that person, you have to understand that your self-talk and constantly criticizing yourself, it doesn't happen. In fact, part of your journey has to be creating a story of self-compassion. I failed. I fucked up. What did I learn? This is why I love so much our community in Better Body Academy. The people that actually just disappear off the grid for 2 weeks, have a really tough time, and then realize that they're just wallowing in their own pity, and then put their hand up and say, you know what? Sorry, hey guys, I'm back. I just disappeared for a while because I was dealing with my own shit, but then I realized I'm dealing with my own shit. Shout out to Gabby, who did exactly that. Gabby, if you end up watching this podcast, know that that's for you. We want to focus in this journey, team, rather than just on the outcome. Everyone wants to lose the weight. I get it. Look, I'm no different. I want some results. I want some short-term results. But imagine how the outlook, the intention in your journey would change if you stopped just focusing on the outcome and focus more on who you are becoming in the process. Who listening to this podcast has become a better parent over the last 10 years, or maybe the last 2 years? Who's become a better partner? How does that feel? You're not just focusing on what your kids are doing, you're not focusing on the outcome all the time. You're focusing on, you know what? It feels really good to sit down on the lounge at night and know that you gave parenting today your best effort. You've become a good parent. That's what it means by becoming a healthier person, a more active person, someone who lays down in bed at night and knows that they gave their day the best job that they could possibly give it. Even if it was a good outcome or a bad outcome, indifferent of the outcome. We need to work on this story that's in our mind of all or nothing. In so many journeys, so many people start the new year with this perfect expectation that they're going to tick every box. I'll tell you what, if you saw my journey, if you were able to look at my journey, it's so fucking messy. It's so disgustingly messy. Sometimes I'm just so busy that all of a sudden my beard's grown and I haven't had a shave for a week, and it's because I just haven't had fucking time to look after myself. But when that happens, I don't then go and quit fitness and then all of a sudden swing the exact opposite way back. This is what so many of us are doing. We're operating in this paradigm between all or nothing, and there's no room in between. And if you're doing that, you're setting yourself up for complete failure. You're like walking a tightrope, hoping that you don't fall off. And when you fall, you're like, fuck, I'm off again. Now I need 6 months to sit here in my pity until I come back again. It's not how it works, guys. You're going to mess up your diet. Guess what? Because you should mess up your diet. You should be, if you're going to enjoy life, the goal of your fitness transformation should not be to sterilize your life. If you say, I stuck to my calorie deficit target for the last 30 days, great. Are you going to remember that when you're 80 years old? No. But what you're going to remember is that you were an active parent, that you were there for your kids, being able to take your kids for a run on the beach or take them fishing or to dance classes or whatever it is you do, because you looked after yourself first and foremost. There is plenty of shades of grey in the middle. And when you look at everyone else and you keep comparing to everyone else, and I know how hard that is when you open your Instagram feed and all you see is these perfect fucking steroid bodies. You're not being paid as a fitness influencer. That's not your job. So stop comparing to people who get paid to live in the gym. Should you want to better yourself? 100%. Should you be comparing to people who get paid to look fit when you're a mum and dad and your goal is to actually be healthy? You've got to be careful of the expectations that you're setting yourself up with. The final point that I want to raise here is, what do you actually want out of your journey? What do you actually want? The vast majority of people over the course of a year, they want 3 things: better relationships, more money, and better health. And typically people don't start their journey until those things get bad enough. So if you're already on the journey, you're listening to this podcast, you're in our academy, you're already on the path. You should be congratulated. But I want you to actually think, this time next year, what would you be happy to have achieved, to be? Weight loss might be part of it. But do you want to be more energetic? Do you want your cholesterol levels to go down? Do you want to feel like you are not completely destroyed by menopause? Do you want to feel like you're more connected to your partner? Do you want to feel sexier? If you define what you're trying to achieve, the chances of you getting there are far more likely. But most of us, we think we want weight loss, and then we haven't connected that what will weight loss give us? It won't give you happiness. If you lose 10 kilos on the scale this year, that's not going to make you happy if your life circumstances don't change at the same time. Does this make sense, team? So I wanted to have a serious chat with you guys this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, whatever it is for you, around what are you saying to yourself? And you might say, well, the things that I say internally don't really matter. Oh, they fucking matter. It's worse if you say them out loud, yes, but they matter. Your brain doesn't know the difference between the story that you tell other people and the story that you repeatedly tell yourself. And I want you to think of it almost like it's imprinting it. The more you repeat it, the more it imprints onto your subconscious mind. Then it becomes a habit. So to uncondition this, let's get a practical takeaway out of this podcast. I want you to think of it almost like a butterfly, and the moment you see the butterfly leave your mind, and that butterfly is like a negative thought, okay? Before you let that negative thought escape into your world, I want you to use your net to catch it. Quickly catch it. Because if you can catch it just as it leaves your mind, got you, found it. That's the negative self-belief you always talk about. Blaming your genetics, saying that your mum was overweight, so you're going to be overweight, saying that you can't do it. This is what we mean by capturing self-limiting beliefs. That's part one, becoming aware of it. The second step to it is saying, this is a fucking story that I've been telling myself for years and years and years, and it stops now. I'm a great parent. I'm a healthy woman. I'm a strong man. I love myself. I deserve the best that this world can give me. I'm working hard for my future. When you start repeating these types of stories, it's not gonna mean you're never gonna get caught in your head again. You are. I still get caught in my head. But the moment you catch it, you change the story. You repeat to yourself, this is fucking garbage. That story is done. That's the old me, and you put it in the past. If you need to say it out aloud, even better. When you do this over and over again, the story stops fucking you up. Guys, this has been the Better Body Academy podcast. I hope you got some value out of this. If you listen to these episodes, you're going to see a consistent message coming through over and over and over again. We've got at a base level, we've got the coaching in and around protein and training and the right strategy. But above the strategy, and the thing that most people struggle with, is the mindset. Pete, I know, as an example, you're caught in a difficult life circumstance at the moment. You guys, just like me, are caught in difficult life circumstances at the moment. But the life circumstances you can't do anything about. You can control how you relate to those life circumstances. There's the things that you can control and the things that you can't. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, team. Hopefully there's some value in what we talked about today. Appreciate you. You're a legend. I'm glad I found you and Carly. Thanks, Sammy. I appreciate that. Thanks, Pete. I appreciate you. I was having 900 calories, not losing weight. And oh my God, Julie, I wish. By the way, Jules, I'm going to send you a friend request. How are we not friends yet? I was having, guys, listen to this, right? I was having 900 calories and not losing weight. I'm now eating 1,600 calories and losing weight. Fucking amazing. And Jules, that's a great example, because what's happening here is, think of what your brain is realizing. I don't need to be so efficient with my calories, because guess what? Jules is going to keep feeding me. This is fantastic news. And so it's starting to think about, like, loosen the harnesses. Like, rather than you pulling the horse like this, it's kind of going, yeah, you do your thing. Run a bit wild, metabolism. That's what we want to happen. And it will start, and it will continue, Jules. If you continue to slowly increase your calories, pairing that with resistance training, this is the key. If it's paired with resistance training, this is where you get the metabolic boom. All right, team, I'm going to love you and leave you there. Hopefully, understanding that was a game changer, Sammy says. Yeah, beautiful, Sammy. Love it. All right, team, peace out. I'll see you later on in the day. Hey, guys, sorry, I wasn't actually looking at my personal profile. My total apologies. Brocky Styles, what's going on, buddy? I hope you're well, mate. Donna, I love you. You're so good. And Donna, your energy is bloody phenomenal at the moment. Guys, my apologies, I actually wasn't looking. I've got to be across 3 or 4 screens to actually be across all of this shit. Stevie says, life circumstances are only temporary. How we act is what lasts. Bang on, Steve. Said like a true champion. All right, guys. Time for the UK coaching call. If you're coming in, I'll see you guys soon. By the way, that's men only. Girls, you can't come in. Chat soon.